Before we start the show, I must ask you, nay, implore you, to vote for us in Madison Magazine's Best of Madison 2024 contest. Y'all, the CityCast Madison podcast and our newsletter Madison Minutes are up again for Best Local Podcast and Best Local News Website. Your nominations are what got us this far. Let's make it official and vote. You have until June 30th. Please don't put this off. Go to our show notes for a link now, and let's make podcast history together. Today on CityCast Madison. It's Thursday, so of course we're dishing on Madison's food scene. We are blessed with so many great parks and lakes to hang out at during the summer, and frankly, great packageable food. Local cheese and spicy jam, anyone? So with our blessings, where are our best picnic spots? We learned that Madison has a self-identified picnic expert, Elizabeth Morrison of Lizzie's Picnics, who organizes picnic packages of all kinds, including lakeside picnics, Saturday lawn setups for the farmers market, and reserved spaces for concerts on the square. We figured why not ask her about her tried and true picnic destinations and how to make the most out of a spread. It's Thursday, June 20th. I'm Bianca Martin, and here's what Madison's talking about. Hi, Lizzie.
Hi, Bianca. It's so nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you. Happy picnic season.
Happy picnic season. It is upon us. The sun is shining. The lakes are thawed. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. And you have a business creating picnics. And your professional opinion, when does picnic season begin and end in Madison?
Picnic season begins as soon as you can comfortably be outside for more than 15 minutes without that many layers. It's up to you. And then it ends when you can't feel your fingers in the fall. And then you have to go eat inside again.
Yeah, I realized as soon as I asked that, I'm like, well, I'm sure some of you are like, hey, I winter camp.
Right.
I picnic in the snow. Well, for the majority of folks, it is picnic season. And I just want to ask, are picnics your calling? Because I have to admit, that is a pretty sweet gig.
Picnics are definitely my thing. I've been having my own picnics forever and ever. I would rather eat outside on a blanket than inside in the summer. I love them.
So is there such a thing as a quintessential Madison picnic?
Man, well, for me, the quintessential Madison picnic is in James Madison Park. Unmatched picnic destination. You cannot beat the lake view. You can see the Capitol. There's always somehow a million people there, but you can also feel completely alone if you want to. And then my own picnic is always going to include a Stella's roll, but I bring my own pack of lunch meat, and then you just make your own little sandwiches. You're by a lake, you've got the Stellas, that's all I need.
That's beautiful. So do you grab Stella's from the Capitol Square at the farmer's market?
I'll grab it from the farmer's market, but I also will track them down over off of Fish Hatch.
I love it. Yes, commitment. I know you're not alone in that for sure. I just had some last week, and that's basically what I did. Actually, straight up, it's just coming to me. I brought an absurd blanket. By blanket, it was a Japanese mattress. And I was like, I am going to sit outside on a back porch. And I had Stella's hot bread and I had some meat and kind of did a picnic. Now that I'm thinking about it, totally forgot. And James Madison is perfect, right? It's just gorgeous. The sunsets there are, I feel like, unparalleled.
It's gorgeous over there. The ducks are getting really confident, however, now. They've started walking across my blanket. They've started coming for the bagels. They are persistent. So keep that in mind.
What has changed?
I don't know. People need to stop feeding the wildlife.
Oh.
That's my plug. And it's not good for them.
Okay, so be prepared for the ducks that are boisterous and brazen. I'm thinking about picnic spots. Hard to not say Picnic Point. Is Picnic Point a good picnic spot?
Picnic Point is a good picnic spot. It's got a lot more like foliage. So it's kind of harder to find a spot if you're trying to lay out a whole blanket. But that spot at the edge where you can sit on the little stone pavilion is so nice, or the fire pits when it's darker out. Those are awesome.
What would you say makes a good picnic location? We've talked about a couple and we're going to get into more on them, but what's your criteria?
I would say a good picnic location is somewhere that doesn't have too many bugs, in my opinion. It's, for me, somewhere where you can see the lake, but really somewhere that you feel comfortable. So if you don't want to be around a lot of people, somewhere that's secluded. What else? I'd say a good picnic spot is wherever you can make it happen. That's what I love about picnics is you can make them so accessible.
You help folks do picnics. That's your business. So your locations are James Madison Park and also the Capitol Lawn. That's a classic spot as well.
It's a good spot. There's so much stuff happening on the Capitol Lawn over the summer. You got the farmers market, there's concerts on the square, the art fair, Taste of Madison. There's always something to see down there. I love it on the lawn.
And are there any like rules of the road in terms of, first of all, how to get a good picnic spot in a crowded place like the Capitol Lawn for one of those concerts on the square? I know people go early, they are not messing around for those concerts.
Concerts on the square, people go intense. So you can't get there before 3:00. Anything that you have on the ground that's like you're not sitting on prior to 3:00, they will remove. But if you put a blanket down 3:00 or later, you can just leave it there and come back closer to when the concert starts. So your space is all set up for you. You cannot bring tarps, however, because it does hurt the grass. I did get yelled at last year after it rained, but you can't bring tarps. And then for concerts on the square, if you want to be on the lawn, you've got to have some low to the ground chairs. If you want to sit in those like normal tailgate chairs, you have to be on the sidewalk.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that, because otherwise you'll be blocking people sitting on their blankets.
Yeah, I got there with my chairs one time and I was like, this is great. Nobody's even here. And then I realized that the reason nobody else was there with chairs is because that's against the rules.
Yeah, they're like, get out of here with your chair, or at least go to the sides.
And people in Madison are nice. They won't always tell you. They'll just look at you for a while and wait for you to figure it out.
Oh, God. Clarity is kindness. For all of y'all listening, please just say something to me. Maybe everyone doesn't feel that way, but that's my plug for the day. But it is nice to be nice. That's whole conversation. But speaking of the sort of etiquette, do people just let you leave your blanket? Or is there any foul play? Or is it pretty, people are like looking out for one another out there?
People are looking out for you. The people who get there to get a spot close to that orchestra are diehard concerts on the square folks. They will not touch your blanket. I really only leave my blanket there, and I like to bring all the other stuff back later, especially because it's food too. You don't want it getting too warm. But as long as you just leave a sheet or a blanket there, people are super, super respectful.
Yeah, so we know that's a top tier place to do a picnic. What about other spots? Because we have so much lake landscape.
I gotta tell you, Wingra Park is also fantastic. It's also on the lake. We really like to go to one of the public piers that are there. They've got a couple different docks that aren't a part of Wingra boats. And then you can get even closer to the water. So you can set up a little blanket on top of the dock. And then it's kind of nice. You can see what's going on in the water and you get to be a little bit closer. I love it there.
Okay. Is that a place where you can bring a tarp?
I don't think you're supposed to bring a tarp there, so.
But for or like on the dock.
On the dock, you could, oh yeah.
I'm just thinking it might be wet. I'm just thinking, what are the obstacles of going on the dock? Because I love this idea.
The docks can get a little bit wet. But definitely you can bring a tarp, or I like to put down a little shower curtain there because not everybody has a tarp. And that's a really good spot.
Okay, that's a second use for your shower curtain. Mm-hmm. If you're trying to get rid of it, hold on to it. You can use it as a tarp. That's good thinking. Yeah, and for Wingra, how busy does that get?
Wingra gets pretty busy. They do the first Friday on Monroe Street. If you're trying to picnic but not also go to that, I would avoid the first Friday. But most other nights are pretty good. People like to do a lot of parks in the grass there, and there's a ton of space. And sometimes people are just playing music. There's a lot of real estate at Wingra, so I never run into an issue with not having space to picnic, which is awesome.
That is awesome. And I feel like beaches have to be good.
Oh, yeah. I love a picnic at Brittingham. You can hop right into the water from that beach if you're getting too warm. And there's a good combination of some sunny and some shady spots. It kind of depends what the weather is like and how you're feeling. And then Brittingham Boats does that Friday night burgers on the bay.
I just heard about this.
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's my favorite Madison summer thing. But even if you want to have a picnic and you're not doing the burger thing, they always have live music. So sitting in the park and listening to the live music is great. And they usually have fire pits going too. So that kind of combats the bugs for you.
Okay, so it's a whole vibe. Yeah, I haven't been over there for the summertime much. And how do you get to Brittingham?
So Brittingham, if you turn off of Regent Street, and then they have a nice little parking lot, or you can park on the streets around in the neighborhood there.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by La Quinta by Wyndham. Your work can take you all over the place, like Texas. You've never been, but it's going to be great because you're staying at La Quinta by Wyndham. Their free Bright Side breakfast will give you energy for the day ahead. And after, you can unwind using their free high-speed Wi-Fi. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book your stay today at lq.com.
I feel like we got a couple more beaches outside of Brittingham, too. I don't know if you have any recs there.
I like BB Clark. I'm also partial to that Monona one. They've got, if you're looking to swim there, they have a diving board. Their park is really hilly though. So you've got to plan accordingly if you're trying to picnic there because it's kind of steep, but it's a beautiful, beautiful view.
Yeah, it is a straight up hill.
Mm-hmm.
But I have done it myself. And I don't know about at this point in the summer, I was just talking a week ago, like it's a great time to get in swimming before the blue-green algae blooms start to happen. And I'm not going to lie, this week I can already smell the lakes.
I know, they're coming.
Which I am not happy about. To the lake monsters, aka all the runoff and everything that's happening.
I know.
This is my one grumpy complaint. I also saw, I was just doing a little research. I'm like, where should I go picnic? Vilas Park.
Oh, Vilas Park. I had a picnic there last weekend.
Oh, really?
Cafe Zuzu does a $4 Euro deal. They do a happy hour. So from I think it's 3 to 6 p.m. So my friends and I all set up at Vilas Park and then we ran over and got dinner and brought it back and just picnicked on the beach. There's lots of grass space there too. And Wingra usually stays the cleanest, the longest in terms of our lakes. So that's pretty safe, pretty late in the summer. It's so nice over there.
High tip. So you're a pro. You do this for fun and also as a career. Let's talk about tips for picnicking in terms of what to bring for food. What are your go-to picnic eats? Yeah, we heard about the bread and the meat.
So I also love a bagel-based picnic. I got bagels from Mermaid Kitchen last weekend. If you haven't had them, but have you had them before?
We talked with the owner. Oh. Yeah, and I was like, we said, is this Madison's greatest bagel secret? Mermaid Kitchen. Yes. Okay. Tell us.
They're so good. And then you can kind of make it like a picnic potluck. I told people, I'll bring the bagels and then other people can bring, all the things that go on the bagels, or you could just eat them plain. But it's a nice, easy food. We love a sushi picnic too. That's nice when it's hot and you're not feeling like any kind of warm food. I always love a charcuterie board. So any kind of meat and cheese and fruit you can get your hands on. But also, I tell a lot of people to just grab whatever you would have just made for dinner, put it in a Tupperware, and get the heck outside. That's what we're doing half the time. We live right by James Madison, and it does it. You can plan a picnic, and it can be beautiful, or all you have to do is grab some food and a blanket and go outside. So don't let the intimidation of finding the perfect food keep you from getting outside and having a picnic. there's all these great foods, but really whatever you just made for dinner or lunch and take it with you.
It's a just do it moment.
Just get out there.
As an overthinker, I cannot appreciate that recommendation enough. Don't overthink it. Just get out there. And what about bevies?
So I'm trying to drink more water, as we all are all the time.
Hydrate.
We love the sparkling lemonade from Trader Joe's. And then that's what we'll bring with us. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this. If you're picnicking at Wingra Park, pro tip is to also rent a paddle boat from Wingra Boats because there's a nice flat part in the middle and you can picnic on the water, but on your paddle boat. It's super easy to bring a whole bag with you, pack all your food, and then you just have a picnic literally in the lake.
In the lake? Are you saying just like on the boat, or you go to an area and then...
we'll be on the boat, and then after we decide we've eaten enough, then we'll jump in the water.
And you jump in the water, you paddle back, all of the options.
Yeah. So, but there you can't bring any alcohol in their boats. So we always grab the sparkling lemonade to bring on our boat-based picnics. And then otherwise, I love a bottle of wine and a nice little insulated glass. And yeah, that's usually what we're bringing with us.
Are you legally able to bring wine in some of the places that we've discussed outside of Wingra?
Okay, so I need to think about what I can.
We all are doing it.
Yeah, everybody's doing it.
I know that the city is listed of different people. We all do it. Not me, but I know people do it.
So I think that I understand why the alcohol rules are in place. I think there's definitely a time and a place where you should and should not be consuming alcohol and ways to do it appropriately. But I think that as long as you're not disturbing anybody and you're not doing anything stupid and going in the water and acting in an unsafe way or bothering people, I think that you are okay to go. So I know specifically that James Madison and Brittingham, you're not supposed to have alcohol at. But as long as you're not disrupting anybody and you're not being reckless with any kind of glass you bring, I let that one kind of slide.
Yeah, you look the other way.
Yeah.
I feel like some sort of mixture of the two. My last picnic, I filled up a mason jar or something like that with bubbly water and then threw some fruit in it, had a little fruit juice, something in the middle. And it just felt really refreshing. And
yeah,
it is nice to take a break from drinking. We have a big drinking culture and there are plenty of us that do not drink.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely sparkling water and just a huge, maybe even just like a friggin' like giant water bottle.
Oh my God. So there's never enough water. Anything that's going to cool you down and keep you refreshed in the summer is awesome. And I'm kind of opening up my picnics to that too, because not everybody does drink. And so I've recently had people reach out and be like, could you include like a sparkling water for us? I'm like, absolutely. So normalize like whatever is comfortable for you and what's going to keep you refreshed and happy outside.
Yeah. And so we talked a little bit about bugs earlier. It's that can be like a pest in areas. I feel like another pest, and I've experienced this even with that drink, you can get a little sticky stuff everywhere. Are there any tips or tricks about like keeping clean?
I love making sure that you've got a place for trash. Everybody has that Midwestern bag of bags in their house. So grab one of those and throw it in with your picnic stuff so your trash has a place to be. And then I really like to bring some baby wipes so that nothing gets too sticky. And I'm always packing napkins.
And probably utensils extra.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always have utensils. Those are they just stay in my bag so they're ready for whenever. And that's why a lot of my picnic foods also don't need new utensils.
There you go. Pro tip. So can you talk a little bit about your business and how you take care of logistics for folks? Like what can folks expect from one of your packages?
Yeah, so I'm an intimate picnic hosting service based out of downtown. So hosting entails a full setup and full teardown of what I would call a slightly elevated picnic setup. So that includes things like a comforter. You talked about that mattress you brought, like a comforter instead of just a blanket.
I looked ridiculous, by the way, carrying that.
But sometimes the grass bothers. If you've got some sensory sensitivities, the grass can kind of get to you. So I have a comforter and like a little sheet that goes on top of it, and then ground level chairs. So they're low to the ground, so you can still get that picnic feel, but you can sit there for longer because your back's not hurting. A small little table. And then I always do a personalized letterboard sign for people, depending on if they're celebrating something or even if it's just happy summer, happy Tuesday. We're just hanging out. And then I do personalized charcuterie boxes. So I usually do meat and cheese, sometimes some hummus and some spreads, some crackers, and then some fruit. And then typically I pack water bottles, pack you a bottle of wine or another beverage that you prefer. And really all you have to do is show up. That's the nice part about it. You don't have to bring anything. And that's half the battle sometimes is you have to think of all this stuff to pack. So I bring everything for you and all you have to do is be there.
And then do you like disappear into the sunset and come back? Or is it your company as well?
If it's concerts on the square, I'm usually going over to my own picnic because I'm not about to miss out on that either. But
sure.
If it's a standard picnic just kind of in the park, I usually disappear for the next 2 hours and then come back. 2 hours is my standard. I need about 15-20 minutes lead time if people want to end it before that or go a little bit longer. But usually 2 hours is a comfortable time for a picnic.
I love this. So for the busy person, like they can hit you up and have a nice little date or friend date, scenario. That sounds really lovely. And you talked about you also do a letterboard. I'm thinking, oh my God, that's so cute. So for folks, it's like the things that you see at a cafe or something that has the little letters in them, or like I had a baby. That sort of.
Yeah, it's like that kind of felt board, and then I have little white letters that go into it. So I've had people do birthdays before. I've had people reach out wanting to do, so many days countdown to their wedding. So I can put stuff like that on it. It's a really cute photo op.
Yeah, it's like makes it special. I went to an Airbnb once, and they're like, "Welcome, Bianca and Ashley." I was like, "Oh my God, they love us."
It's like the perfect little touch.
It's the perfect little touch, but it made me think you're also a teacher. Yeah. So this is like a side, this is like a side hustle of love. But your day job is you're a school teacher.
Yeah, I am. I teach elementary special education over on the west side. So this is my summer gig, but I love it. I love the combination of it, and it's a good time.
Well, Lizzie, thank you for taking the time to kind of run down your experience throwing picnics for people, letting us know about your business and things we should keep in mind before hitting these grasses here in Madison. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Enjoy picnic season.
That's Elizabeth Morrison of Lizzie's Picnics. If you want to learn more about her work in the picnic realm, head to our show notes for a link. That's all for today here on CityCast Madison. I'm Bianca Martin. If you enjoyed the show, why not share this episode with someone you know who makes a mad charcuterie board? All right, we'll be back tomorrow morning with more stories from around the city. Ciao.